Hi, welcome back to the farm. My name's Roz, also known as Passion Flower, and you'll find me here each week talking about my farming and creative life. This week is going to be a little bit different. I am actually recording a week in advance because I'm not sure if I'm going to have time to give you an episode this week. I will be busy with year 11 exams, and I'm just not sure that I'm going to have the energy or the knitting or the farm activity to be able to share anything of value. So what I thought I would do, as I mentioned last week, is actually go through a couple of yarns that I have in my stash that I've been sitting looking at for quite a while that I want to try and make something out of, that have been in my stash for a while as well. Not that I'm trying to stash down, but I just feel this inspiration that I really want to use some of my stash and use it for things that I know that I like and will wear, based on what I've already made. So they're actually going to be repeat knits, and I want to explain why I want to do them again, and what the decisions are in terms of the yarn choices that I'm making. So the first yarn that I have in my stash that I've been looking at for quite a while is two skeins of now I bought a pink one as well as two grey, and it is by Rainbow Hand Dyed, and it is a 4-ply sock yarn. It is 75% alpaca, 25% nylon. So it's hand wash only, so it's non-super wash. And I've got this beautiful grey, and I've got this beautiful pink tonal, slightly little chocolatey colours as well. So I kind of want to use this with this, but it might make it a bit too muted or a bit stripy, which I'm not sure that I necessarily want. It's 400 meters in 100 grams. So from two of these, I should be able to easily make a long sleeved three-quarter jumper for myself. And I was given from someone's stash this silver thread, which looks super fun, and I thought maybe I could hold this with this, because I'm kind of a little bit fascinated with holding things together, this with the silver, and make another Melanie jumper. So I made a Melanie out of grey and pink, and together it kind of looks a little bit mauvey pink depending on the light. And I've worn that quite a lot this sort of autumn, mid change of season period. It's a 3/4 sleeve, nice high neck, good body length, and it's been really comfortable and soft. And this is beautiful soft yarn too. And I thought by adding in the sparkle, it kind of makes it a little bit more like dressed up. I could put it with jeans to go out for dinner, like a black pair of jeans, or wear it with a skirt or a dress. So I might do a little swatch with this in the coming weeks and see if it looks like a good combo and how the fabric comes out with the two together. This is quite a fine 4-ply, so I think that putting it with this will give it a little bit slightly more body to it. So I was thinking maybe I could do stripes and keep the silver going all the way through both. What do you think? Or should I do a whole separate project with this? Being 400 meters, I could get something out of this quite useful as well. Even just a beautiful shawl would be nice, because it's got quite a lot of drape. So this is the first lot of yarn that is really inspiring me right now. I don't know how much is in this, so I don't know if it'd make it all the way through, but I think it's worthwhile giving it a shot. The other yarn that I have been really eyeing is Fluff and Nonsense, who was my neighbour at Melbourne Fiberfest in Coburg, and is also one of the co-founders of the Gabby's event in Geelong. And I've actually got 3 different colourways from her, but I only bought 2 over with me today. I've also got a light blue, but I've got this really beautiful light pink, which is called Adelaide, and I've got this orange spice. I have made her male clad vest out of this orange spice before, and I really enjoyed both the colorway and the yarn. It's the SRS Merino, and it's a 5-ply. It's 100% non-mulesed Australian SRS. So I think I've got 3 or maybe even 4 of these. I've got 2 of these. And again, I'm thinking about ways that I can use some lace weight that I already have in my stash as well. So I have this one, which I actually need to look up what the dye is. I think it might be Malabrigo. It is a lace weight. I only have just over 40 grams, so I'd have to do some maths to figure out what my yardage is to see if I would be able to hold it together, because I was thinking I could hold it with that, which would be super pretty, but I could also hold it with that, and that could be a really interesting combination. So again, there could be some swatching in my future. I've also got this wagtail yarn, and I've got 80 grams of this, and so I'd have to again work out some math in terms of what my yardage is, but that could also be a really fun combination. Or that could be. And again, the light blue that I have over at the house, because there's some light blue in this, could also be a really good match for this as well. And I want to make another vest. I think I will probably make another male clad vest, because I have been wearing vests quite a bit this past few weeks as well. I've been going with the long sleeve t-shirt and then putting a vest over the top. You saw me at Fiberfest last weekend. That's what I wore for both weekends. I wore different long sleeve tops with different vests, and it is just a good way to be warm without being too hot. You can push the long sleeves up and down quite easily and they'll stay because it's a t-shirt, and then just, brighten things up by putting a different coloured vest on. So I'm having a think about some really fun combinations to be able to play with that. I kind of do like these that way, but again, I think I might be doing some swatching and a little bit of playing to come up with some different, creating my own yarn combinations, which I think is quite a fun way to really get some inspiration out of your stash, and will also use up quite a bit of yarn, but create something that's 100% unique just for you. I'd love to see some suggestions from you in terms of some patterns that you think might work well for this. At the moment, that's what I'm going to go with, the Melanie and the male clad vest, but I'm certainly open to suggestions of other go-to patterns that you would use to make something out of. And I'd love to hear of some combinations that you're putting together, colours or different materials, to create your own yarns. I just think it's a really fun way to get creative. It's kind of like yarn dyeing in a way, grabbing 2 very different things and putting them together and seeing what you end up with. And you don't know until you actually knit with them. Hope you enjoyed this slightly different episode this week. I'll be back to regular episodes next week. Until then, thanks so much for joining me. If you enjoyed this video, please leave me a comment, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week on the farm. Bye.